You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
All right, thank you, Wes. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode number 73. It's all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio. As always, Kelly is the man to go to when you're looking for a vehicle, used vehicle. He's got it right there on the lot. There's not a whole lot he can't find. If you're looking for a specific type, style, make, model, mileage, whatever, Kelly can find it. If he doesn't have it, there's a good chance he can go out and get it for you. Visit him online at kellysobxauto.com. Oh, my goodness. You know, I was kind of looking forward to July being kind of a cool month to just do some chilling, hanging out, going and just spending time with the fam. It hasn't quite been like that. It has, but it hasn't. I'm sorry if I sound a little hoarse. I'll explain that here in just a minute. But it's been a busy month for me. We're well into the month of July. I have been to Ahoskie, North Carolina. I don't mean this in a bad way, but I've been to Ahoskie, North Carolina more than I want to have been to Ahoskie, North Carolina. It's nothing against it. It's just we've been out there. It has been hot. We've been playing a lot of baseball games. It has rained. We have been canceled more times than I can count. And hopefully we're wrapping this tournament up soon. We did, as the recording of this podcast, we suffered our first loss to Paquimans County, which they're pretty good, the other night. Hopefully we can bounce back and see them in the championship, but only time will tell. This afternoon, I'm recording on a Tuesday morning right now. This afternoon, I'll be on my way back to Ahoskie to play either Edenton or OBX. We shall see. We play the winner of that game tonight. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, no offense to the great community in town of Ahoskie, but if I don't have to go back and see you again for a little while, I'll be okay. I'll be back, but I'll be okay if it's a little while before I get there. I'll tell you though, this past weekend, interesting weekend. Not going to jump into the national politics. We're not going to do any of that. So don't think that I'm going to sit here and talk about the events that happened over the weekend, because I'm not. My aunt, my mama's sister, had this 70s party. It was really fun. DJ Styles was there. It was just a good time. I had a great weekend in that regard because we were able to hang out. I saw some family that I haven't seen in a long time. I got a cousin that lives in Florida, and she came up for it. Hadn't seen her in a couple of years. It was really nice to see her and just to kind of get the family together to do something fun, to do something different. We sang karaoke. I sang some Charlie Daniels band. What else did I sing? Staying Alive. Well, you get down by the way I use my walk. I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. You know that song? Yeah, I sang that one. It was tough because I have a deeper voice, and you got to sing it like this. That might be a part of the reason why I'm hoarse, but I had a great weekend. I hope you did as well. We are into July, as I said. It is hot. I don't know about where you are, but here has been quite warm. Okay, quite warm. And when you throw the humidity in there, it makes it feel just sticky outside and just no fun. That's why we have the ocean. We can go jump in it and go swim around. Okay, that's the benefit, I guess, we have. Other places that are just trapped in cornfields and just nothing but grasslands around them or whatnot that's holding that heat in, or even city buildings. Man, my heart bleeds for you guys. Seriously, because I know like places in the cities and stuff like that, it can surpass 110, 115 degrees. We've seen some of that, but the heat index has been that high. So it's been warm. Oh gosh, coming up in this episode of the podcast, we're going to talk to my buddy, childhood friend, one of my best friends growing up. We spent many days together. Ryan Walker from Wanchie's Off-Road. He's going to be joining me on this episode of the podcast. Talk about the Wanchie's Off-Road Diesel Performance Center he has over in Kill Devil Hills. yeah, I'm going really looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. News, nothing really to talk about news-wise, newsworthy that I can think of off the top of my head. I did kind of scan over a few things. I was looking, I was like, no. If you are interested in the news, you go to samwalkerobxnews.com. Sam Walker is the answer. Grand Slam, Sam Walker of the news. When he does the news, he hits a grand slam every time. That's why I call him the Grand Slam, Sam Walker. Yes, indeed. You have questions, he has the answers. SamWalkerOBXNews.com. Make sure you're listening to their podcast too, the Sam and M podcast. Such sweet folks. Love them very much. Enjoy anytime I get to see them, hang out with them, talk to them. Great time, okay? The Sam and M podcast on all your major podcast platforms. I think the only little PSA, though, that I might throw out there is, we talked about theft on the Outer Banks not long ago, people stealing for whatever reason. I mean, it's everywhere. I know it happens more often than not, and I'm sure that it happens without it goes unnoticed, and it's unfortunate. But I've been reading a lot. I look at a lot of local social media pages, and it seems like people they'll be an anonymous participant, but they're so quick, they're so fast to trash a local business, so unbelievably fast to trash a local business. And it's unfortunate that I hate that I hate to see it, because they're actual businesses that are very, very reputable, and they're trying to kind of tarnish their image in some way. I don't know this to be factual, but I'm willing to bet that these individuals that are just quick to jump on Facebook or Yelp or TripAdvisor and write these horrible reviews have not spoken to the business regarding their experience and given the business an opportunity to make it better for them. Okay, I think about if I owned a restaurant or some sort of amusement business or whatnot here on the Outer Banks, and somebody was having a less than mediocre experience in my business, I'm going to talk to them like, look, what can we do to maybe to do this? Let's talk about this for a second. What happened? Okay, let's figure out what happened. Let's navigate through this together. And let's try to come to an agreement of how we can make this better for you, how we can make your experience enjoyable. Because there's not a business. People don't go into business to make your life miserable, okay? People have bad days. It happens. You know what? Let's just chalk it up to a bad day for whatever happened. That person that may have caused your experience to be less than mediocre, okay? It happens. Have a little forgiveness. Don't go on social media and just rip them a new one, okay? It's not necessary. It's not necessary, because you got a bunch of self-righteous locals around here, or just proud locals around here, that are going to jump to that company's or that business's defense. And even other businesses will do the same thing, even if it is their competition. They don't want to see them people get torn down. No, they don't, because a rising tide raises all vessels, okay? My buddy Garrett from Newvine said that, and I've never forgotten it. All right, a rising tide raises all vessels. So if one of us is doing good, if a bunch of us are doing good, we're all doing good together, and people want to come hang out with us. So please consider calming down, speaking with the individuals that are involved about your experience with whatever it may be before going on social media or any of those other TripAdvisor sites or whatnot and ripping them a new one. Okay, enough about that. I want to thank Joel and Jess down at the Wreck Tiki Bar in Hatteras Village at Hatteras Landing for having Phil and I down there last week. Man, that was a lot of fun, and I can't say it enough. If you get an opportunity to head down there, it's right beside the ferry dock. You need to go by there, have yourself a drink, grab something to eat, get something from the snack shack, say hello to Joel and Jess. It will be a fun time. I can almost 100% guarantee it, okay? It's just a great atmosphere. When I go down there, I forget that I'm down there for work sometimes. Don't tell Phil. Don't tell Phil I said that, okay? But when I go down there, I forget a lot of times that I'm down there for a purpose. I get down there and I'm like, relax, island vibes. I completely forget that I'm there for work. So yeah, I want to thank them for letting us come down there again. Oh, Captain Marty. Today being Tuesday, the 16th of July when I'm recording this, today is Captain Marty's birthday. Yeah, Yeah, so happy birthday to the captain. Captain Marty's got a busy schedule coming up. He's got the Boat Builders tournament next week that he's going to be out at. I'm going to be out there as well, hanging out and helping him get his fishing reports up and online. Then he's got the Pirates Cove Big Game tournament, the Alice Kelly tournament. There's so many things that are coming up in the near future with Captain Marty that are going to be fun and exciting. You're not going to want to miss it. He's got his own channel on our website at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. He's on all of your major podcast platforms. Just search Captain Marty, and he's right there. You can't miss him. Captain Marty, the man, the myth, the legend. Love him so much. So glad to be working with him again. His fishing guide is out. It's up and down the beach all over the place. You can't miss it. Go look for his fishing guide. Got a lot of good information in there, lots of recipes. We had Chef Wes Stepp from Red Sky put some of his recipes in there. So go check it out. You're going to love it. Get your hands on a copy of the Captain Marty Fishing Guide and be listening for his fishing reports and his stories being posted daily, and his fishing stories being posted weekly here on the Outer Banks This Week website, OuterBanksThisWeek.com, and on all of your major podcast platforms. All right, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to jump into some shout outs, but hey, you're looking to cool off on a hot summer day. Great place to go. H2OBX.
H2OBX in Powell's Point, the Outer Banks' #1 family attraction. Whether it's a thrilling adventure you seek, a relaxing drift down the lazy river, or just a place to splash around on a hot summer day, H2OBX has something for all ages. Looking to enjoy the park in style? The cabanas make a great addition for family and friends to gather for that resort feeling. Don't forget about the great eats like barbecue, tacos, burgers, and acai bowls. And the tasty drinks like smoothies, frozen coffees, and an assortment of adult beverages. To see a map of the park or to secure your splashing good time, go online to h2obxwaterpark.com. H2OBX and Powell's Point, Outer Banks family fun at its finest.
Sea Chef Dockside Kitchen is the new restaurant at the world-renowned Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Chef and owner Mac Boobin, alongside his father Jeff, a James Beard Award winner, had a vision of blending a traditional fish shack with modern culinary influences in a casual setting. With a menu that features the bounty of local watermen, Sea Chef Dockside Kitchen offers hand-selected fresh seafood and more. Enjoy dockside dining on their deck, watching the boats as they come and go with their daily catches, or book an event in the private upstairs room or in your own home. Visit them online at SeaChefOuterBanks.com. Sea Chef Dockside Kitchen, the newest addition to the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center.
All right, so Sea Chef Dockside Kitchen, they actually they're kind of in the news. The Miami Herald did an article on them. Have you ever tried escalar? I think I'm saying that right. It's a pretty rare fish here, but Captain Boo Daniels, you heard his daughter Elby on the Fresh Catch Seafood commercial. Yeah, Captain Boo Daniels. He caught one, and they took it over at Sea Chef Dockside Kitchen. And the way that Chef Mac wrote it said the fish has a buttery, smooth, snow white, truly unique, and should be on your bucket list to try it. The Miami Herald did an article on that. So, yeah, there's a little bit of news. It's people were coming from all over just to try it and eat it. So, Sea Chef Dockside Kitchen at Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Definitely give them a try. Great folks there as well. All right, we're going to jump into some shout outs. And again, if you're a listener to the podcast, please let me know. I would love to say hello. Podcast at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. All right, let's start with Mr. Brooks Blaylock from Eatonton, North Carolina. Mr. Brooks emailed me. Thinking about the movie Mr. Brooks when I say Mr. Brooks. He is the superintendent at the links of Mulberry Hill Golf Course. He said he listens every week. I just wanted to shout out because I was in Eatonton. Wished I'd known I was there over the weekend. Could have put me on the golf course. Good luck in baseball. Hey, Mr. Brooks, thank you for your email. Of course, I responded. I'm not much of a golfer. I played one time when I was like 15, and I tried to Happy Gilmore the whole thing. I would really like to try, though, to do it seriously once and see what happens. And I will take you up on that. Maybe I have some ideas for some things I'd like to do in Eatonton. So we'll talk more about that in the near future, you and I, and we'll see what we can come up with. But thanks for being a listener, man. I really appreciate it. I love your support. Thank you. I also want to shout out to my friend Julia Talls. Now, I've shouted out to Miss Julia before. Julia is a listener to the podcast, and she texted me the other day, and she's like, hey, Justin, you're doing great. You know, like it when you had Phil down at the Rec Tiki Bar. She loved it when Laura was in here. when we did the little thing about bar etiquette, and when Laura actually joined me out at McGrath's Burger Shack for a little bit and talked about some of the food they had. She enjoyed all that camaraderie. And, Julia, I think it's, with all this chitter chatter, at some point, you may have to join me somewhere out on the streets. Yeah, I'm calling you out right now. You listen to this podcast every week, and I appreciate the crap out of it. And just a little history on Julia and I. I've been knowing Julia since she was a baby. I've known her mother, her grandmother, her great-grandmother, who's one of my favorite people in the world. Julia's a sweetheart, okay? Her daughter, Becca, sweet little girl. So, Julia, just go ahead and get your mind right, because you're going to join me out on the streets very, very soon. My last little shout-out here, I want to shout out to Jill Siemens. I hope I'm saying her name the right way. Miss Jill. She said, "Hey, Justin, just wanted to reach out and say that my family went out on the Harbor Star Dolphin Tour, and they loved it. The captain and the mate, they were excellent. And saw tons of dolphins that day. Said she'd been listening to the podcast since day one and love it. They told them on the dolphin tour that they heard all about it on the podcast. Thanks for continuing with the podcast each week. I look forward to listening each Thursday. Take care and go Braves." Yes, thank you, Miss Jill, for your email. I'm glad you had a great time on the Harbor Star Dolphin Tours. Those are Bo and Luke down there, or Bo and Kevin. I always want to call them Bo and Luke Duke. Bo and Kevin are some fantastic individuals. Glad that they're here, and I'm glad you had a great time on the Harbor Star and you saw lots of dolphins. They are a fantastic group down there, part of Juan Cheese Marina. So, Miss Jill, thank you for your message, and I'm glad. Thank you for being a listener since day one. Really, really appreciate it. And again, if you're a listener, or if you got any questions, any ideas, anything you would like me to bring up and talk about, I try my best to hit on all these topics. I have gotten some emails over the months that we've been doing this, and I try my best to hit on all the topics. And if there's something I've forgotten, if you've emailed me and I missed it, email me again, podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com, podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com. All right. I guess it's that time to check in with my boy and yours. Where's he at this week? We'll find out. But it's your boy, Matty P.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Matty P, back with another edition of OBX After Dark, brought to you by Outer Banks This Week. Look, man, I'm going to do something a little different for you guys this week. Look, after the 4th of July, I did some thinking. You might ask, Matty P, I didn't see you out this weekend. And you're right, you didn't. You didn't see me out this weekend. And like I said, I was doing some thinking, some soul searching, if you will. And I thought, hey, Matty P needs a chance to reset his mind, right? And if you don't know, you're about to find out. Matty P's been on a journey. It's all over the Outer Banks. You can't freaking miss it. There's a sign, obviously. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but let me tell y'all where I was at this weekend. Let me talk to you, if you will. Matty P went down to the Outer Banks Sports Club, y'all. If you're looking for something to do late at night, the Outer Banks Sports Club is open till 10 o'clock. If you need to get that pump in, if you need to just go there and release some stress, oh man, it's the best place. Look, I promise, OBX After Dark is not over. It's far from over. I got a lot of fun ahead of me, a lot of fun things planned. But look, man, this is an episode where, if you're looking for something to do that's going to benefit your health, that's going to clear your mind, make you feel good, the Outer Banks Sports Club is the place to go. And look, I'd give it a BPL, but that might be a little tough because, you're supposed to be in there focusing on yourself. And but look, man, if you're looking for something to do, Nags Head, Outer Banks Sports Club, 10 o'clock at night is when they close. Come see Matty P. He's in there all the time. Holla at your boy. That's been another edition of OBX After Dark.
What could possibly be more fun than watching a bottlenose dolphin swim and play in the water right beside you? Hop aboard Harbor Star Dolphin Tours at Juan Cheese Marina and witness this remarkable animal up close. The Harbor Star is a spacious 50-foot vessel with a wide, shady canopy that runs 2-hour trips multiple times a day, including a breathtaking sunset cruise. To book your tour, go online to juancheesemarina.com and click Harbor Star Dolphin Tours. See the majestic bottlenose dolphin up close with Harbor Star Dolphin Tours.
All right, joining me right now, as I've already talked about a couple of different times, is Mr. Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance. His given name is, can I say your first name, or do you want me to just kind of go with?
I'll answer anything.
Okay, his given name is Jeffrey Ryan Walker. I call him Ryan. I'm Walkie Man. this guy sitting across from me from Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, I've known probably, let's see, I'm 39. I think you and I were in preschool together at least 35 years ago.
Wow.
So, I mean, I'll say I've known you about 95 to 97% of my life. Taking a step further, we were neighbors.
Yep.
There was probably a 5-6 year span where I was either at your house, you were at my house, or we were hanging out somewhere doing something. So to say this is one of my best friends growing up is an understatement. He
We
was more like,
probably put 10 miles on about a 10-foot long path.
yes, we did.
Through the woods.
That's an accurate statement. But yeah, to say, one of my best friends growing up is an understatement. He was more like a brother to me. Still is. I love this guy to death. Ryan, dude, thanks for coming in and hanging out with me.
Oh yeah, anytime. It's a pleasure to get away.
So I want to know a little bit more. We've had that commercial running for Wanchi's Off-Road, which thank you for being a sponsor of the podcast. Let me say that. And we did a video for you recently, which turned out phenomenal. God, that thing was great. And I've gotten so many compliments on that video. You've actually helped me market it to other people too. So I feel like
I show it to everyone.
I might owe you a little kickback.
Very
for that.
proud of that video.
That turned out great. But I want to go to the beginning because in the commercial, I say something as yes, it's my voice on the commercial in case you didn't know. I say, master mechanic Ryan Walker over 20 years ago developed the idea of watch. Let's go back in time. Let's rewind. How long have you been in love with vehicles, and trucks more specifically?
I was probably 14 years old, if not a little bit younger.
Okay.
My dad, I still remember the day going to the dealership when he was going to buy this truck, and I messed up, and I was proud that he had a little bit of money, and I told the salesman how much money he had, which is a giant mistake to do at a car lot.
Oh, no.
Because they will put that truck right out of your range. Yeah, I was probably 14 years old, and he bought that truck, and I was like, that's going to be mine. That's my truck.
Okay.
And it eventually was. So at 15, I quit playing sports and put everything I had into that truck. And when I turned 16, it was mine.
Okay. Now, your dad was a mechanic, right?
He was, yep. Pretty much his entire life growing up. He worked for Bobby Tolson, their Lighthouse Automotive, originally Lighthouse Automotive Mania. Now it's Kelly's. He was a mechanic there. I'd get dropped off the school bus growing up. Bobby's daughters and son would babysit me while my dad was working.
Oh, that's cool.
So we would, ever since then, that's what I wanted to do. And that's kind of when the idea started. I was probably 15. I would go out in the driveway, go out in wherever the garage we had behind our house and tinker with this truck I couldn't even drive.
Okay.
And, I never made it to where my dad couldn't drive it the next day. We'd go out there and just play with it and get it to how I wanted it. So when I was 16, it was ready. And actually, the first day I drove it to school, it broke down on my way to school. I didn't even make it to school.
I don't remember that.
Yep. Right in front of the school, it shut off at the stoplight, and luckily James Cahoon was in front of me in the tow truck, and he noticed me. He towed me up to the church, and we left it there for the day.
Well, it's hard. It was hard not to notice that truck. Now, tell me what that truck looked like. Yeah, remind me. I'm a little hazy there.
That truck was known as Barney.
Barney. Wait a minute. Like Barney Fife from Andy Griffith, right?
Unfortunately not. It was the purple dinosaur.
Oh, the purple dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
So I'm to assume that it was purple in color.
It was. So when my dad bought it, it had some rust on it, and Ford had a certain year that they had a warranty on the paint jobs. So they told him he could pick any color he wanted to paint it, and they would paint it. He picked purple and silver.
Now, talk about that truck. It was a Ford, what
Ford
year?
F-150. It was a 1989 F-150. Single cab, short bed, four-wheel drive, stick shift. I couldn't drive stick shift to save my life, but I learned.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
I learned quick.
I remember vaguely Danny Burrell had his license before us.
Yes.
And like Friday, Saturday nights, we would jump in that truck and just go ride.
More people drove that truck than I did. We would, and then when I was 15, when I had my permit, you could drive with people over 21.
That's right.
So I had a couple of friends that were 21.
Yes.
And they'd get in the passenger seat and sober, and I would drive them around.
Well, and there was some good times to be had in that purple truck. I think there was a time that I fell out of said truck in your driveway.
You did.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, I was not paying attention.
I forgot about that.
We were laughing or carrying on about something. We were pulling up in your driveway, And I was just kind of like was getting out, like I was getting out of a normal vehicle, not thinking, because the lift on that was what?
Had 9 inches of lift.
And what size were those tires?
35. Well, I used to switch them weekly, but it stayed on about a 35-inch tire.
A 35.
Sometimes a 38.
And I mean, I remember some Super Swamper Boggers at one point being on it.
We went from Super Swamper Boggers to Mickey Thompsons, the Baja Belteds, to all the good tires they don't make anymore.
Oh, dang. They don't make those anymore.
They make the Boggers, but not the Baja Belteds.
Oh, man. Well, I just remember stepping out like I was stepping out of a normal vehicle, and I fell on the concrete, and you laughed so hard at me. And I was like, I couldn't get mad because, I'd laugh at myself. But anyway, so you got this truck. You had a golden truck after that.
I did, yeah. Once I realized that the 89 Ford wasn't reliable because of my driving type, we sold it and went and bought like a 2001 Ford gas motor Super Duty. Something I could drive back and forth, go to school, go to college in. Then me being me, I went and ruined that truck by lifting it and working on it and doing stuff to make it not reliable. Yeah, that was the life of the gold truck. I kept that one for probably about a year and maybe 2 years. I took it to school with me to college.
Okay, so you went to college. So that's what I was going to ask you next. So like you used to, you and your dad used to go out in the driveway at least 3 or 4 times a week after dinner throughout school and would just tinker around with the truck. And that's kind of where you started learning a lot more of the mechanics and the ins and outs of the vehicles. So you did that stuff through school. You had these vehicles. Now, you didn't start your shop right away. You did go to college, yes?
I did. I went to Nashville Auto Diesel College in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wait a minute. Nashville, Tennessee? Like
the whole country music capital of the world.
What? Dude, jealous.
Well, the problem is I got there, I was 17.
Okay.
Not 18. And at 17 years old, you cannot do anything in Nashville. You can, at 18, you can do pretty much anything. But at 17, you can't even go into some of the bars that were having concerts, even though you weren't drinking. Or at 17, you were not allowed in. So I had about 2 months of that.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Now, that made for some tough times, I'm sure.
It did, but it was worth it once I turned 18. Got to see a lot of cool concerts.
But you went to diesel mechanic school in Nashville, Tennessee. How long of a school is that?
It was 2 years straight through.
2 years straight?
No summer, just 2 years straight.
Just working, grinding.
Yeah. It was a good school. I would come home, I would like to say once a month, but I was homesick. So I had some frequent flyer miles with Southwest Airlines.
Oh, very nice.
I would probably come home twice a month.
Oh, wow.
And that still wasn't enough. There was one time I actually had my truck packed up. I was quitting, coming home. And my mom told me over the phone that she would be disappointed if I did, but I could if I wanted to. I did not. That's all it took.
That's all it took.
Next morning, I unpacked my refrigerator, put everything back in my dorm room, and finished through. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, that's good. Good looking back, man. That was definitely the right move. You know, Mama Tracy really putting it on you there.
Oh, yeah, that's all she had to do. She said, I can do what I want to, but she would be disappointed. I said, oh, no.
Yeah, well, she's sweet. Love your mom and dad very much. All right, so we finished diesel mechanic school, and that's when we started Wanchese Off-Road, yes?
It is not.
No?
Well, it was an idea. But I was always afraid to take the plunge, and I didn't want the responsibility maybe so young. So I went to work at a few boat shops, worked for Western Branch Diesel, doing diesel work right out of college. They ended up shutting down, so I went back and forth between Bayless, Spencer's, Ricky Scarborough, wherever.
Working on boat engines.
Working on boat engines, working on boats, everything except what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And I did that on and off for 20 years.
Wow.
20 years. And then one day I had a buddy that owned a shop in Kildover Hills call me and needed some help. So I took a couple vacation days from my original job so I could double dip and went and worked for him for 2 days and realized, like, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
So still not doing exactly what I wanted to do. I was at least in the diesel industry again.
There you go.
Working for him. Did that for 3 years, and he decided he wanted out of it and sold me everything he had. And that's where we're at today. I changed the name, changed a lot of stuff about it, and that's where we're at, and that's who we are.
Okay.
Now,
So and that was how long ago?
That was it's going on 3 years now.
Going on 3.
Yeah,
okay. I was going to say
years.
3. I wasn't sure though.
Yep.
So the name Wanchese Off-Road, like you just were like, was it just a name that you came up with? Or did you just like, you know what? And I'm going to call this Wanchese Off-Road Diesel Performance.
So,
or did you have is there something else there?
when I was 15, yeah, I would hang out with a lot of guys from Island Off-Road. And they always had the cool stickers across the windshield, and that's all I wanted. But I wanted to say I had an Island Off-Road sticker, even with the idea of Wanchie's Off-Road. And I always looked up to Joey over at Island Off-Road. He always had the nicest of the nice and the baddest of the bad. And I was like, that's what I want. But I supported them. I went through probably about 6 vehicles in the meantime of working with Joey at Island Off-Road. So I was from Wanchie's. I said, you know what? We're just gonna call it Wanchie's Off-Road. Simple as that. And that's where that started. I was never diesel performance at the beginning. It was all I wanted was a big jacked up truck. I didn't care if it was gas, diesel, what it was. I just wanted to be seen more or less. That's pass it down the road and say, oh, look, there's Wanchie's Off-Road, because everything was Island Off-Road.
That's true. I can attest to that, because it seemed like any lifted vehicle for a period of time there for about 10, 15 years or so had that. If it was lifted and it was local, it had that Island Off-Road sticker across the windshield. And it was good marketing for him. You know, I mean, I know people, like yourself, you knew people all through school and everything, and friends of ours that when they wanted any sort of suspension lift or any bigger tires, rims, things like that, they would go to Island Off-Road and get it done.
I would ride up there in the summertime just on the weekends to look at the trucks in his parking lot.
See?
Just literally, I wanted to see a cool truck. I'm like, let's just ride up to Island Off-Road and see what's outside.
See what's there. And I mean, this all kind of has helped you create what you have today.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So let's talk about your diesel performance shop, okay? But you also will do some other work as well. So let's talk a little bit about some of the work you do at the shop.
Yeah. We'll do it all. I mean, it's as simple as an oil change. I get asked all the time, do y'all do services? Y'all do oil changes? We do. We do it all. We do tires now. We do oil change, brakes, complete engine jobs, rebuilds. I mean, suspension lift kits, anything you can imagine. We've had customers here in the last week buy their own Nerf bar steps, and we just bolt them on for them.
Okay.
We will do it all, anything.
So there's not much.
There's not much except for state inspections.
State inspections. I was going to say, now, if I need to get my vehicle inspected.
I do not do state inspections.
Okay. We don't mess with the state.
Nope.
Leave them alone.
Yep, they don't need to pilfer around.
Okay.
They can stay right where they're at.
I can say that I have had some work done from Ryan and his crew over at Wanchie's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kidable Hills, and it's been superior work. Fantastic crew, fantastic folks over there. I'm rocking the T-shirt today. Yep. I've been spotted up and down the beach wearing these shirts. I think there was
I see them everywhere.
I was waving the flags for that wall that heels that come by accident.
Yes.
I didn't even realize I had your sweatshirt on.
That's a perfect picture.
I had that big American flag.
Yep. I'll use that for about any Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Independence Day. That's a good picture.
So I'm like the poster boy.
You are. You're the poster boy. Yes, you are.
All right. So if anybody wanted to find where is your shop located? Can you give me an idea? It's in Kidable Hills.
We're in Kidable Hills. It's kind of hard to find because we're not allowed to put a sign out by the street.
Okay.
But it's in the Ocean Commerce Park, which I tell people it's in between Birthday Suits and the Harris Teeter gas station.
Okay.
There is a complex. It's 2004 South Croatan Highway, and we are the last unit at the end in the cul-de-sac.
Right there. Yeah, if you hit the cul-de-sac, you just look to your left.
You'll see we got, well, we technically have 6 parking spots, but you'll see about 25 trucks out there.
See?
You can't miss us once you're back there.
No, see, and like I said, my man does great work, and he's got a great story. It's something that he's dreamed of for years. He's had this dream, and he's made his dream a reality, and then that's a beautiful thing because there's so many of us that would like to do our own thing a lot of times, and we're just afraid to take that plunge. And would you encourage now? Let's talk to if somebody was thinking about going in your line of work or and they're like, man, I don't know if I want to try and take that plunge. What do you tell them, man?
I'll tell you, it not even just my line of work, any line of work, do it. There's no better feeling. It's a risk and you'll stress, but it's well worth it. And it's not, I don't want to say it's not as hard, but it is, but it's the pros outweigh the cons. It's definitely rewarding.
Gotcha.
And it, being your own boss, everybody says you have more time to do what you want. That's a lie.
That's a lie. Okay.
That is a lie. You do have more time. It's just not doing what you want.
Okay.
But it's well worth it. It's well worth it.
Now, I was hoping maybe Sutton or Sloan was going to join you today.
Sutton actually tried to when I called her and told her where I was going.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. Sloan is out. I think my mom's taking her to get pedicure, manicure, all that stuff today. But Sutton is, she said, I want to go with you. And I was like, not this time.
Well, there'll be other opportunities for Sutton and Sloan
she
to have
asks
their
about
time.
it all the time.
Sweet daughters of Ryan's, and he's got a son named Crew.
Yep.
Crew. How old is Crew now?
He is 10 months old.
10 months.
10 months and like 3 days. And he's a handful.
2 girls and a boy my man has over here passing down. And it's funny because I've stopped by the shop and the girls would be in there and they are a hoot, man. I'll tell you what.
They run it.
Sweet girls. Yes, they are. Yes, they do. Well, Ryan, dude, I really appreciate you coming in and hanging out with me. And I mean, this has been kind of a long time coming. I always enjoy whenever I have like friends of mine, especially ones that like know me better than most.
Yes.
Come on the show. You know,
I didn't realize you told our age earlier when you told how long it had been. It does not feel that long.
Well, but I mean, it goes by in a flash. But like, look at you, baby.
Way fast.
Dude, you're crushing it, man.
Gosh.
And it's nice. It's fun for me to look at like my friends, especially ones that I was really close with growing up, that are just like owning life and just doing what they want to do and just having it, and just doing it. It's an amazing thing. So, kudos to you, my friend. And just keep crushing it, man. Like you've got the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks, bro. So, if people want to find you online, man, where do they go? What do they do?
We have a Facebook. I do have an Instagram, but I'm still learning that one.
Okay.
I had a great Instagram and it got hacked probably about 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I went halfway of rebuilding it, and everything's on Facebook. We're just Wanchie's Off-Road, Diesel Performance, WOR Diesel, however you want to say it. It pops up both ways. We don't have a website. It's all just through Facebook.
Okay. So, and phone number. What's a good phone number?
It is 252-715-0025.
0025.
And I tell people, leave a voicemail because 90% of the time my hands are dirty. The phone's ringing. It only rings when I'm dirty. It doesn't ring when I'm clean. So I do return voicemails.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, Ryan, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you coming in. Wanchie's Off-Road Diesel Performance, WOR, Diesel Performance, and Kill Devil Hills on Facebook, working on the Instagram stuff. And, give them a call, 252-715-0025.
That's it. Yes,
My guy would love to look under your hood.
Anytime.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The desire for being on the water is what draws people to the Outer Banks. OBX Boat Company in Kill Devil Hills shares that desire with you. The only full-service Yamaha authorized dealer on the beach, OBX Boat Company is committed to providing you the best possible boat ownership experience. Their carefully selected brands of center consoles and family-friendly pontoon boats are all powered by ultra-reliable Yamaha motors. They offer excellent financing options as well. To learn more and see their inventory, visit obxboatco.com.
Ahoy there, folks. Captain Edward Lee here, and I want to invite you aboard the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. She's a modern 60-foot headboat outfitted with the latest top-quality safety and fishing equipment. We make 3 trips per day out of the world-famous Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Visit MissOregonInlet.com or call us today at 252-251-4314. So ditch the beach for a bit and set sail with the Miss Oregon Inlet 2.
All right, yes, book yourself a trip today on the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. Go online to MissOregonInlet.com. Now get you scheduled to go on a trip, whether it be fishing, sightseeing. Definitely a fun time aboard the Miss Oregon Inlet 2. All right, let's jump into some events, and you can find all of these events. You can go online to OuterBanksThisWeek.com to see them in their entirety. Okay, every event that I'm about to mention can be found online, and a whole lot more. I just skim over some of the major events and the major things that are going on, or things that are jumping out at me on the website. But there are so many more events that take place that I do not get an opportunity to mention. That's why I say go to our events tab at OuterBanksThisWeek.com and check them out in their entirety. The Music OBX Concert Spotlight. OBX is for lovers. Coming up this Saturday, gates are going to open at 2. Festival, it's going to start at 3. You got Hawthorne Heights. You got Thursday. Armor for Sleep, This Wildlife, Frontside, and Found It. They're going to be jamming out all day, or starting at I guess I should say starting at 3. Tickets are $49.95. Kids 8 and under are free. It's a rain or shine event. You can go online to musicobx.com to get yourself locked in, get your tickets ready to go. So when you get there, you just scan your ticket and walk on in. Now, looking down the road, we have Irration and Pepper coming. Yeah, they're going to be coming on Saturday, July 27th. More details to come on that. I'm thinking I might be able to get an interview with them. I don't know yet, though. I'm working on some things, working on some stuff right now. Hey, as always, the Lost Colony Outdoor Drama, they're in their 86th season. You can get your tickets for the show online at thelostcolony.org. You got live music and trivia nights happening at places like Lost Colony Waterfront Beer Garden, Shipwrecks, Buffalo City Distillery, Sand Trap Tavern, Stripers. Oh, gosh, live music across the board, Fish Heads, all the way up at Sundogs and Corolla, all the way down to Howard's Pub and Ocracoke. There's so much stuff going on up and down this beach, all across the board. Karaoke nights. Again, online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Click on the events tab and you can see it in its entirety. Hey, jazz nights are going on at Owen's Restaurant. It was Friday, Saturdays, and Sunday nights. It's now Wednesday through Saturday nights starting at 9 o'clock. Mug Night is back with DJ Styles. He's going to be in the house at Jolly Rogers in Kill Devil Hills. That's every Thursday night. Bring your own mug, fill it up for $3 with their selected house beer. Now, keep in mind, it starts at 9 o'clock, and it's 21 and up. You got to be 21 to come in. There's a $5 cover charge, and, of course, your boy Matty P will be in the house as well. Brunch taking place daily at Cafe Pamlico in Buxton from 8 until 1, and yoga on the patio every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 8 o'clock as well. And they're doing their uncorked wine tastings on Mondays. Uncorked wine tasting on Mondays. Downtown Manio Market every Saturday starting at 9. The Tri-Villages Market in Rodanthe at Camp Hatteras is going on every Wednesday morning, also starting at 9. Hey, the 46th Annual Wright Kite Festival is taking place this Friday and Saturday, July 19th and the 20th at the Wright Memorial in Kill Devil Hills. More details on our website. Hey, Jeremy Russell is going to be playing at Bass Knight's Lone Cedar on Friday evening, July 19th, starting at 6. I love Jeremy, man. He does a great job. That's why I've been kind of pumping him here lately, because I heard him play recently, and he does a fantastic job, and he's just such a likable guy. Love me some Jeremy Russell. You get a chance to hear him play, you need to do it. Surfing for Autism is going on this coming Saturday, July 20th, starting at 8 o'clock at Jeanette's Pier in Nags Head, milepost 16 and a half. Go check that out and show some love and support for the Autism Society of Dare County. OBX is for Lovers, as I mentioned, going to be at Roanoke Island Festival Park this Saturday with gates opening at 2 o'clock. Oh, here's something really cool. The Hatteras Volunteer Fire Department in Hatteras Village is having their regular Saturday fish fry this Saturday, with the fixing starting at 5 o'clock until they sell out. Sometimes the best, in my opinion, it's just me talking, the best fish dinners, chicken dinners, barbecue dinners can be had at benefits like this to benefit the fire department or whatever, the charity that is going to be receiving the money. Those benefits like that, a lot of times we'll have the best food, the best fried fish. If it's a fish dinner, a lot of times those are just the best. They give you a good helping portions, and they're phenomenal. So if you get an opportunity, go by the Hatteras Volunteer Fire Department in Hatteras Village this Saturday for their fish fry starting at 5 o'clock. The 20th Annual Carolina Boat Builders Tournament kicks off Thursday, July 25th, and that's going to go through Saturday, July 27th. I think it actually kicks off the day before, the 24th. I'll check with Captain Marty. He'll let me know, but that's going to be at Pirates Cove in Manio. And, of course, Captain Marty are going to be out there hanging out. I'm actually going to be the MC this year for the Boat Builders Tournament. Looking forward to that. Tremendous honor when I was asked. I was like, wow, I'm really honored to be asked to do this. So I'm really looking forward to being the MC for the 20th Annual Carolina Boat Builders Tournament. Skim Jam coming up on July 26th through the 28th. That's a Friday through a Sunday at Jeanette's Pier from 8 until 5 every day. It's a big skim boarding competition. They're going to be all set up out there. Looks like it's going to be a fun time. So that's something to go and watch. Just go watch. I don't know that I would skimboard unless you're flexible or whatever. I mean, you might be really good at it. Maybe they'll let you participate, but me, not so much. Not going to happen. And looking down the road, the Ocracoke Fig Festival is going to be taking place Friday and Saturday, August 2nd and the 3rd. There's a lot of details about that up on our website right now at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. So if you get a chance to go down to Ocracoke, go to the Fig Festival Friday, Saturday, August 2nd and the 3rd. And again, all the details can be found at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. But if you're hungry, hey, man, there's a great place I can tell you about in Manio. Got some great food. My friend MJ works there. Great little spot to hang out. It's called Striper's Bar and Grill.
Boasting phenomenal seafood dishes, a great menu, and waterfront views with deck seating, Striper's Bar and Grill at the Shallowbag Bay Marina in Manio serves a casual, fun-filled dining experience with an Outer Banks flair. With 3 floors to choose from, you're bound to find the perfect seat for you and yours while enjoying great food and fantastic drinks. To see our menu and to catch a glimpse of the beautiful views, go online to stripersbarandgrill.com. Striper's Bar and Grill at the Shallowbag Bay Marina in Manio, where everyone's a VIP.
All right. Let me see. I don't know that I forgot anything, but if I did, let me know. Podcast at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. I'm hoping that I didn't, but I am getting older. Sometimes I am forgetful. Like my wife the other day, she told me, she's like, "Oh, you got to take Murray to school. My little one, he has summer school." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I told you this like 6 times." I'm like, I forgot. So I am forgetful. If I forgot anything, let me know. Podcast at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. I want to thank my buddy Ryan from Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance for coming in. I'll tell you, dude has had this dream. He has made his dream a reality, and he has worked so hard to achieve what he has achieved. And I mean, I'm proud of him, man. He's one of my best buddies in the world. I love that guy. And I try to go and hang out with him when I can. I'll call him up. We'll grab lunch at 3 Tequilas or somewhere. We're right up the beach whenever I get an opportunity. Fantastic human being, wonderful guy. I can't say enough great things about him. Again, how many miles did he say we put on a 10-foot path? Because like I said, he literally lived right through the woods from me, and we had a path going to and from each other's house, and we were back and forth, multiple times a day. It's just how we rolled. Anyway, I want to thank him for coming in, and if you need some work done on your vehicle, man, Juan Cheese Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Next week, oh gosh, it's a mystery. It's a mystery what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be, and what I'm going to be talking about next week. I got some things in mind, so quite frankly, I have no idea what to try to foreshadow right now. I am trying to get up with somebody right now because I want to go to their place of business and see if they'll let me set up shop, but only time will tell. We'll see what happens next week on the show. The Outer Banks This Week podcast, though, episode number 73. We're going to wrap it up. It's all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio. If it has doors, it can be yours. Visit them online at kellysobxauto.com. I am heading out of here. So, in the words of the late, great Freestyle Bob, later.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.